Good morning, everybody, and happy Sunday, March 13th, 2022. My pain in my head's a little better today, but it was brewing. I could feel it. It was unreal, between me and the neighbor. When I got there, he is not any better. I mean, I could feel it the first day I was there, and I was like, oh boy, I've been gone too long. But the house inside was so at rest. I didn't feel it until I was walking in and out. And it was like, it was just awful. It was just an awful feeling. So now, well, let me backtrack just a little bit. When I went in to sign the papers to get back into the house and get my things, her attorney said that all I had to do was point and they were going to box things up. Well, thus far, that hasn't happened. Not once. Is there anybody there, except for my friends that have been my Florida Keys family, have helped box anything up. So now, not only is it stressful on my body that doctors told me I have to avoid at all costs, now I'm sorting my life I already sorted it for the last several moves. And this last year was a year of healing for me. So everything that was purchased for that house brought me joy. Because Phil Wagaman said, if it brings you joy, do it. Because he saw how miserable I was. That's when the father's side came out. But somewhere along the lines, he forgot that part. So look at everything in that house brought me joy. And now I have to make a decision on why it no longer brings me joy. Or what can I do with it? That's why my acupuncturist has been such a healer to me, and I've missed it because I don't have the money. So when I sent him the thank you for the flowers from that photography studio, and I'm going to get a free hotel night, well, I'm just hopeful I can take the girls. So anyway, I'm thinking about that, and the light bulb went on. Yeah, my head. I don't know if you've ever experienced head pain from negative, like dark people that are around you. But that's what's doing this to me. And that guy next door, I was there so much, he was in hiding. Well, he's not in hiding anymore. So his energy's outside, so he wasn't running in fear, because now he thinks he's got the upper hand. Here's where that's not okay. So I don't know, do I get the radios involved or something? Get some publicity out there to say, hey, their attorney said that I just basically say what I want to keep, and the rest they'll sell for me, and box the rest up so I can take it. I I don't know. Seems pretty reasonable to me, even though way back when the bird flew directly into my house and dropped dead, and they used his phone camera to witness it and told me there's nothing I could do about it. What? When did I sign something that said it was legal for somebody to monitor the front and back of my house? He don't live with me. I'm not married to that man, nor is he my father. So I want to know how on earth that can legally be possible. So I need a Florida statute that says something about voyeurism or something to that effect, because I've had enough of this bullshit out of this guy. And anybody else, write your charges up, because you can represent yourself in a court of law. Think about it. If you're defending yourself, you don't need nobody. You don't have to pay for anything. All you gotta do is list the charges and tell the truth. Write down the facts, the way that it happened, and that's your answer paper. Anybody can defend themselves against the government and anybody else that has wronged you. If there's a law written about it, just saying, there is no way that it is okay and legal for him to have cameras on my house. My whole entire front and back of the house. I put a curtain up so I could seal him off. So it sealed off one camera and it pissed him off. But you know what? He went into hiding and that was all his problem. I did it so I had some peace, because I could feel that negative energy. There's no way that's okay. So here I am, this last year of joy that I put into the house, I have to sift through. I have to sift through my joys and pick which ones I don't need anymore. That doesn't seem right now, does it? Because there's nothing in the house that didn't bring me joy. Nothing. Not anything in that house. It just had a negative vibe when I moved in. And it was so nice to walk in there and say, wow, man, does it feel good in here. Feels like home. It will always feel like home. But those darn OCMs, they ate me alive. And I don't have those here at this resort. You want to talk about making Natalie a happy girl? Now every once in a while I get like maybe a sand flea or something, but I'm not getting bit up like I was in Summerlin. You want to talk about a reward? Holy crap, I didn't know that was possible down here. We'll see how when it gets really hot, but still. So, I have a crazy idea that I came up with, so I'm hopeful I'm going to execute it. But this is since it's Sunday, the Lord's Day, I've got a homework assignment for everybody that listens or tunes in. How about you sit down at the table, a Sunday dinner or whenever, even if you can't get everybody together because it's short notice. Wherever you guys sit down, and if you can't get together, maybe do a Zoom or something, or do FaceTime or Messenger or whatever, where you can video chat, and start brainstorming of all the government rules and regulations that you've been wronged by the system, and be very specific. Get out a list of charges, including in your city and state. So city, state, and all the way to the top. And kids too. They'll tell you where they've been wronged in school and what's happened at school. Tell them, let them pour out their hearts. Don't and let them tell the truth. And don't punish them for telling the truth. But if you want some ammunition against the government and use your voice, write up the charges. Write up the charges and file them yourself, because it doesn't cost a penny. It doesn't cost a penny. At least it shouldn't cost a cent to file any type of charges. And you certainly don't need a dirty attorney to help you do it. I cannot believe that attorney that was like my brother on the phone fed me that BS, unless that's what he was told. Yeah, you could just put like stickers on the whatever you want, and they'll box it all up for you. Okay, I'm in. So, today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not working. I'm not going to box anything up. But I'm going to go through the kitchen. What's we haven't taken out of the cupboards. And everything else, I'll just sort today. That's not work. That's not work. Not on the Lord's Day. That won't be work. Because every Sunday was my shopping day. So today I have to shop for joys. So what I'm thinking of doing with some of my other joys that I'm keeping is passing those joys along, so you can bring some, maybe it'll bring some joy into your life. And yesterday when I got my bonefish storage unit that's climate controlled, my business card wasn't going through. Well, none of my cards go through when you're homeless and you're trying to rebuild and get money and try to juggle it all. So I called the number and her name was Joy. Can't make it out. Oh, was she a sweet potato? She said, well, I can't take cash the first time because I need $75 deposit. I said, no problem. I said, I've got cash on me. And I asked her where the nearest First State Bank was. And she didn't know. And I said, no problem. I thought if you're from the area, you know I'm just new to Marathon. I love my Summerlin people, which I'll go visit. But, you know, right now I love where I'm at. So I had to get gas and put money in the tank, or and then go to the ATM to put money in put money in the tank, put money in the ATM. And I called her when I was there. I said, okay, can you run my card again? So I had to reread it to her because it didn't keep it in the system, which is a good safety measure. Good company. Makes me feel even more safe that whatever I'm going to put in there is going to feel safe. But I always said, if somebody needs something and they take it, then they needed it more than I did. Ask anybody. My convertible, I always left it down, the top down. Left Yeti mugs, all kinds of stuff. Water, you name it. Nothing was ever taken. Not ever. Not ever. I didn't even lock my doors. Top or bottom of the house, the lower or upper level. I didn't need to, because I felt safe even with the tool next door. So sit around the table today and think about all the wrongs our governments have done. And are there any people in your life? Maybe if you guys list them on paper and cast them out, you can free yourself. You can free yourself from that heartache that you've been carrying around for so long. And maybe your children have something that have been weighing heavy on their heart and they need to get it out. And if it's something that you've done, don't take it personally. Listen and learn. That's what we stopped doing. We stopped learning. We heard what they were saying, but we didn't want to listen. There's a difference between hearing and listening. We don't want to hear. If we can't even listen. I mean, to listen effectively is to listen as if you had to recite it word for word right after they finish the sentence. Now think about that the next time somebody talks to you and your mind veers off. Because when mine veers off, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I go, can you repeat that? I'll stop people dead in their tracks. Or if for some reason I had a hiccup somewhere along the road. But I'm telling you, when you effectively latch on to every single word a person says, it's a whole new world, especially for you men out there that don't listen all the time. You want to listen to what you want to hear. You always did. But if you really latch on to what people say, just like in Sunday sermon, some preachers grab your attention and others don't. Find that church where that preacher you're hearing about is going to reach your heart and soul and make you elevated that much closer to him in heaven. Those are the good ones out there. Those are the ones that are uplifting. Those are the ones that aren't saying fasting is not of the Bible and have mercy, eat a hot dog, and I'm allergic. It's time you put your congregations on the map. Those that are truth seekers and only speak the truth. And don't pound down their parishioners' throats while passing out King James Version Bibles. Because I just packed mine up and it made me giggle because I'm like, oh, when I get back from this world tour, so to speak, I need to start making some changes here in Monroe County. I need to start making changes here in Monroe County. I've got to start cleaning house with these attorneys. How many wrongs does it take to make a right? Just even saying that hurts my head. They dangled a carrot, and I had to help them execute it. And look at again what has happened. Where are my rights? This is not justice. This is not justice at all. This is not justice at all. So you guys do your own homework. And if you were the only person on earth get in that quiet, like, sense of brainstorming. If you've never done it, that's the only way. If you're like the only person on earth, where would you go where you have that? And start brainstorming the ideas and write them down. So when you go to the table with your family, or the family room, or even outdoors or wherever, beach, where you can start throwing things out with each other, brainstorm first all those things that come to mind for you. That way nobody else is clouding that come together meeting at the table, or any of the multitudes of places you could come together. Find that place you come together and you feel the most positive. If it's your church group, add that to Bible study today. What you got to lose? I mean, think about it. If you get into that bubble in your own brain where it starts thinking about all of the torment you've been through the day, or the positive things, what if you try something different with your brain and you think about, okay, I do remember years ago them saying about putting chemicals in food were okay for us to eat. Okay? Well, what year was that? Google it on your phone. When did the government start? Let's see if it pops up on mine. Let's test my theory. This is how my brain works. So I'm giving you a free, even though I'm not, well, I've been a teacher. My head. I can hear the door slamming already. That's why I've got pain. Because I can feel the negative energy. I don't know which one it is, because there's no slamming of the doors. They've covered that here. I'm telling you, this is a place of healing. And I know I'm getting ready to go on a road trip, but if you want to get away from the winter and start your spring off like this. I mean, truly, it's like the Coco Cabana, and it's the Banana Bay Resort and Marina. Book a room and tell them Nat33 sent you. Truly, because it'd be fun to come home to a bunch of people here, because I'm going to be living here full time, and I love it. I have never been happier in my life. So why not call the Banana Bay Resort and Marina and book a room and come visit? I don't even know how many rooms there are. But seriously, when you call in, tell them Nat33 sent you. Let's bring some love. Let's bring some Indiana love, and some of my other states love. Here, like the rest of all this melting pot that's been here. I'd love to see some of my former clients, my students. It would be great to have story time. Truly. I truly miss that. But if you can get in that state of mind where you're at peace and you let all the outside noise silence itself, start thinking about all the things: taxes, property taxes, sales tax, pharmaceutical industry, where that's wronged you. COVID has wronged everybody, so put that down. Voyeurism, where we sign a paper, put that down, so everybody has the same one on their paper. What was the third one? I had 3. I'll have to go back on my video if I don't come up with that. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't think of the third one. But do that, and then have your kids do that. Have them brainstorm, and have them brainstorm instead. In addition to that, tell them to brainstorm the creative side of their brain. Tap into a side of your kid you've never seen if you haven't seen it. Now there are parents I've seen that totally can see when their child is gifted, and they tap into that, and they like want to sponge, feed it as much knowledge as they can to keep that sponge absorbing the material. So ask your kids, things that do they sit up at night and imagine, like, if the world had X and how it would look and whatever. I mean, maybe they're little inventors and you don't even know it. I certainly wasn't aware that I was capable of that. And my sister came up with something. I don't know. Invent Your Mind was her email, but I don't know. I have no idea. But since getting into that house, my creative juices were flowing so much that I had to start acting on it. So as I'm in getting out the little bits that I did get out, or shopping on Marketplace became my shopping network. And then picking it up was even funnier because I did it on my Ford Mustang. So the things that I drove down the street with it was hysterical. But it just, down here, it just doesn't make a difference. I mean, people don't, it's just like second nature. Oh, we can fit it. We're going to fit it. I mean, it is the funniest darn thing. I can't even tell you how many times. Oh, we're going to make it fit. Oh, yep, we're going to make it fit. I'm like, okay. And they, every time, would get it to fit. Even a bicycle, just stuck it in there. And so it was everything. Even the adventure, picking it up and bringing it back, brought me joy. So look at these joy stealers. Freaking turds. And I got to sift through them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm going to sort through all the stuff that I want to keep, and how I want it boxed up. And then on Monday morning, I'm calling the attorney's office and say, you said they were going to box it up. Did I have to get that in writing too, on top of the money situation? He said something like, put a tape or something on the whatever to tell them that that's the stuff you want to box up. or put it in an area so they could box it up? Oh, maybe that's what I'll do today. I'll sort it for the stuff that I'm keeping, sort it for the stuff that Peppermint Patty's taking for her new kitchen, and the rest that's saleable. And say, okay, I sorted everything, and I've got piles in the house. And I don't know who's boxing it up, but I need it boxed up so we can pick it up today. Because I'm planning on leaving for Arizona on the 15th. Just getting my ducks in a row. So, don't you think that's only fair? It'd be really nice to notice if that witness was in there at the time. But you could hear through the walls, because there's no doubt they heard the conversation. Everybody in there. Because they were, you know, take one little office and you put up all the little partitions. Yeah. Where's the privacy there? There is none. Confidentiality? Closing that door. Are you kidding me? Don't tell me that room is soundproof in that tiny little office. You could hear all kinds of stuff. I could hear it. And then he tells me about, I go, why is not Bobby's name on it? Oh, he's relinquished all rights to everything. I don't know. Did Bobby say that was all right for him to say anything? Because when I ask a client before I would say how we knew each other. Is it all right if I tell them that you're one of my clients? I asked for their permission. This attorney didn't, did he? He relinquished his rights. That doesn't mean he doesn't still have rights. Maybe he wanted to sign off on her and the kids and the house, but he didn't sign out on his other rights. And the confidentiality of this attorney not divulging that to me, even if I am acting as myself. Unless that's him giving me that respect at that level, but even still. Did he give him permission to talk on his behalf? I don't know. And what I don't understand is, why did I have to sign agreement with him? And then I get to the house the first day to go through it, and there's a Federal Express package from the landlord, Leela. Writing everything up, and she's signing it. I'm like, well, I didn't accept that. It actually says by the 17th I have to get it out. Now the attorney says the 14th, so we got issues all across the board. I don't know why she talked to him to have me sign a document. I know they're trying to get me out of the hole. But when the courts collect the money from Phil, that original agreement that I was wronged will be then in play, and I will have paid a whole year's rent. So all this other stuff I've been going through would have never existed had they just followed the law, basic contract law. And when the check was returned, go after Phil Wagerman because he authorized it. Slam dunk at the end. But look at everything what man did to get me to this point, and all this undue stress that I had in my life, including all of the food that I had to throw away in my refrigerator because they threw me on the streets because they could. Where is the justice? I had a refrigerator full of food that went bad. Now there are some things that were perishable, but it makes me sick to waste food, especially since I've been here, because there's no waste here. Because if it got to a point that I forgot it in the refrigerator, because we always do that, I'd put it in my garden, because it's amazing when God provides the sunshine and the rain, what will bloom. I just had this free garden. I just had compost, and I put onions in there, and anything with a, like celery, stick it in. I've got a sweet potato in the house. I'm going to have to stick it in there because it's like growing, and it's like little hearts. It's so cool, and it's an organic sweet potato. So, people, sit down, be creative. Encourage your kids to be creative. And start doing it today at the table. And pull together those ideas of, if you're going to represent yourselves, what charges would you write up? Because it doesn't cost a thing. And you're not going to be afraid to defend yourself now, are you? Strength in numbers. The more of us, the less of them. City, state, think of it all the taxes, all the multitude to fuel tax for you truckers out there, import tax, tax. I'd like April 15th to be a celebration of No More Taxes Day. That's what I'd like to do. Just saying. That's my goal. I'd love to do that, wouldn't you? What do we have to lose to write up our own charges against our local, state, and federal government? Nothing. Because guess what? God's here, and He's healing the land. He's ending those sufferings left and right. Look around. Look around. And while you're at it, go to the Convention of States and sign the petition so we can call a Convention of States. So, I got Princess Harley here this morning. Right, baby girl? Good morning. So, hope you enjoyed our video. Love to all, bunches and bunches. Stay tuned, I'll have more coming up in a little bit. Bye.